Hello and welcome back to the channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you find yourself watching. Today we have two really interesting knives, and one I've had for a long time and one I just picked up this weekend at the Blade Show in Atlanta, and it's the SOG Pentagon. Now, if you're familiar with SOG or SOG, there's been changes. You know, they're under new management. They were bought out, but really. I don't necessarily have a lot of heartburn with the USA made SOG offerings. This is called the SOG Pentagon FX Elite, and it is USA made, Cryo S35N, so a USA steel and USA made finished knife. This SOG Pentagon, it just says SOG Specialty Knives made in Seki, Japan. I think at some point in time the Pentagon was also, it moved from Japan to Taiwan, but you know, we're not going to, this is like I said, this knife I've had 20 plus years. So could I tell you much more than that? No. And when I bought it, it was purely for the functionality and the shape, you know. And we'll kind of discuss that a little bit here. Now, what's primarily different? Obviously, the newer SOG, if we were looking at cutting edge, because this says jimping, this original has jimping. Okay, so cutting edge on the original SOG Pentagon is about 3.5 inches. Serrated and non-serrated side, about 3.5 inches. Now for this guy, and let me move it here to the line to make my life a little bit easier. I don't math well. This guy is about 5.5 inches, so a good bit longer. You know, the FX, we'll call it the FX just for the ease of it. You know. It's a super steel. It's got removable, looks to be G10 scales, which is cool. It's very good on the ergos, you know. Easy on the hand. It's got a little, you know, you could call that a glass breaker, just pointing in, you know. If we're looking at the handle, now one thing, the original Pentagon did not really have any finger type guards, if you want to call that a finger guard. Handle's about the same as far as length goes. I think this was called a Craton checkered handle. This is more of a rubberized. Feels great. I mean, very, very comfortable in the hand. You know, the thing about this is the maneuverability. You know, that's what drew me to this a long time ago. It's like, man, you this is a, you know, no question about this knife. This is not for bushcrafting. This is, you know, not for lighting fires with a rod or anything like that. This is the business end of sticking somebody, you know. So, and I will say it's obvious that this guy is the same. Now, this is a full tang construction. You know, I can't. I think this is on perhaps full tang, but I really don't know. And again, it's been so long since they've had this particular model, especially from Japan. You know, it's hard to say. But does it feel, how they feel the same? Now, you know, the balance, the balance on this guy is not, you know, it's pretty damn good, but, you know, there you go. Is it perfectly balanced? No. This guy is a little more on the balance side for me. I like the practicality of one serrated edge versus the other, but also here, if something were to affect your handle, your SOL for your SOG, get it? Oh, but with this guy, you can replace the handle scale. If you don't particularly like G10, this thing is brand new. It's not, I don't think it's even on the SOG website yet. So, you know, for me, I'm kind of a partial to micarta, but I really like the feel of this G10. It's not slick. It's got a little bit of texture to it. You may be able to see there's just a slight texture, but it feels nice and secure in the hand. You know, you can maneuver this guy fairly well. It's real similar feel to this. Now this one though, what I'll say is when you hold this, it's not going anywhere. This sucker, you know, with this craton checkered handle, you know, love it or hate it, I find myself on the love side of this equation. So anyway, for this particular comparison, do we need to have a winner? You know, if you want an extra 2 inches, then the new guy, you know. Now this is either like an AUS 8 or 10. That's what SOG used back in the day, and this is, you know, S35 VN steel. So super steel versus AUS. What does that mean? This guy is going to hold its retention. Edge retention is going to be better. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult to sharpen. This guy is much easier to sharpen. But you know, it's stainless. This is a coated blade. It's a teeny coat or titanium nitride. And that's, you know, sort of the blacked out version, you know, more tactical, some would say. So I really like both knives. I think I still lean towards the old one because I'm nostalgic, but let's talk about the sheaths for these things, because that's where, you know, I'm a fan of Kydex. You know, now this big old clip they have on here, do I love it? Man, maybe not, but it's a nice Kydex sheath, drain hole, and this is the original. Look how thick. I mean, this is just layers of leather. about as low tech of a sheath as you can get. Now, this is designed, you know, to be across your back, across your belly, fairly concealable if you would. It's a smaller knife, okay? You know, the overall length is only about an inch or so smaller. I don't know if you're, yeah, it's in the camera, so it's hard to see, but the profile and the feel of this is it's a smaller knife, but that's okay, you know, because again, these knives are made to stick people, not so much of, you're not getting into a sword battle, you're not slashing people, but so, okay, you know, some people love leather sheaths, other people, you know, lean towards Kydex. For my part, I like the Kydex. I like the flexibility that the Kydex gives you. You know, you could strap this onto a plate carrier. You could do it upways, sideways. You know, scout carry with this clip. I'm more than likely would take this clip off. Just more flexibility with this particular sheath. This, you got one way to do it. You know, that's it. In sort of the vein of, you know, look, let's be honest. The Pentagon was sort of an operator type weapon. It was meant to be concealed. It was meant to do stabby things, and fair enough, you know. So they didn't flex on the sheath so much, and that's okay. Other than that, you know, I just think it's really cool to see SOG putting out a premium Pentagon style dagger, because I like this. I like the functionality, the purpose-built shape, because it is meant to stab, you know, and penetrate with that. What I would kind of, if I was putting an ear in the SOG guys, putting a bug in the SOG guy's ear rather, you know, let's do another one of this guy as a tribute. Let's have it one side serrated or partial serration. That'd be cool. I'd like to see that. Super nice knife, super sharp. Can't complain. It's got enough differences to not really have me declare a winner. You know, bigger knife or bigger blade on the knife, because the handle's almost exactly the same. A little different on the ergos. Final thoughts on the ergos. You know, with this one, because it's G10 and it's, you know, it's a full tang construction, I like the finger guard, you know, or the area where I can lock my fingers in. That's pretty cool. There's no jimping, so, you know, consider this sort of like the solution for no jimping on the blade, because your thumb locks in on this guy. If I needed to, my thumb locks in on the jimp right there. You know, this is aggressive jimping. If you have thick gloves on, it's gonna catch them, you know. So I'm not gonna declare a winner because I like them both. The price point on this guy, I got this at Blade Show, so I got it for quite a bit of a discount. You know, I think this retails for close to $450. Now you can't buy this one anymore, so that's not really a fair thing. So, but you know, there's a lot of competitors for dagger style blades out there. It's sort of, you know, do you like this offering? Once they're out on the market, I would, encourage folks, go pick one up, see how it feels in your hand. I have medium to large hands. It feels great in the hand. I can't say anything negative about that. It has a nice feel to it. So it's up to you if you want to spend close to $450 on one knife. That is all up to you. This guy, I think, the only way you're going to get this is maybe on eBay, and you're going to pay a similar price for a Seki. The Taiwan-made or Taiwanese SOGs on eBay are going to be a lot cheaper. But I think you're still going to pay at least $200 at least. And I say that without going on eBay and checking for you. But if you dig this shape, if you're buying an older knife but want the functionality, man, look this up. Because if SOG, see, this is the FX Elite. If they wanted to do a standard reissue of the Pentagon with maybe the G10 scales, removable scales, and a full tang, I'd buy it. I'm sure I would, because that's how much I like this compact shape. I think they did a mini Pentagon, but I think this is the sweet spot. And this is like his big brother, but not taking anything away from this one. So beautiful knife, feels great. Highly recommend it. So hope you enjoyed this video. If not, remember, life is hard, don't complain. Until next time, take care.